All right, so check this out, right? So last week, yeah, it was about like last week, 50 Cent and T.I. was really going in on each other. T.I. was going in with the music, 50 was going in with his thumbs. So anyway, it was like an Instagram versus rap beef, kind of like a social media beef. It was a weird beef because I guess it all started because of a verses, and 50 Cent had responded by posting a picture of T.I.'s wife. Now, when it comes to the rap beef stuff, I don't really like to get into that too much because that's like celebrity gossip. And this is going what my lane is pretty much. I like to talk about television shows, documentaries, movies. That's like what this channel is for. But at the same time, it's like, so this particular topic that I'm talking about, this is 50 Cent announcing that he's gonna post and promote and produce a brand new documentary about T.I. and his wife Tiny. So yeah, this is fits that category of TVs, movies, and documentaries. So we can just tie all of this together into one now. So like I was saying last week, it was a serious beef going on where T.I. and his family and 50 Cent was going at each other. Now I don't think 50 was taking it as seriously as T.I. and his family was, but at the same time, you probably understand where they coming from. You know how, like, you don't want to mention nobody wife or mother. The people, you can't really know, you don't really know how they gonna respond. You can't really tell them how to respond. That's it's just how emotions come out of people when you go to places like that. So I get it, but at the end of the day, me personally, I thought the whole entire beef was corny because first of all, you know, uh, like I say before, and me personally, I think 50 Cent need to be doing the verses with a Jay Z or a Nas or maybe Ja Rule did verses already. Like 50 Cent need to do some a verses with somebody from the older era. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what? My bad. Ti and 50 years it's pretty much the same era, so I shouldn't say it like that. But I think 50 should do the verses like somebody from the East Coast maybe, or if you gonna do it, maybe you could do it versus I don't know Kanye maybe I don't know. But anyway, I think that Ti should do the versus another Southern artist. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think would be a better versus. I don't think 50 and Ti would make a good versus, but that's where it all stemmed from. You know what I'm saying? And 50 responded with some pictures, and the Ti's family responded. But I just think the whole thing is corny. Mentioning people, family members, and then mentioning people's mothers from both sides of the fence is corny. Now, maybe you could say probably a lot of people would say 50 Cent is the more cornier one because he keep doing this shit over and over, and I would agree with that. But anyway, we ain't really gonna get too much into the beef. That was last week. So now today we're breaking the news about 50 Cent, producing this new documentary. Now, me personally, I don't think it's the right move by 50 because I think, people will respect you more if you just do a diss track and just leave it alone. All of this other stuff is real lame and goofy. But see, when you look at, like, let's go back to the Diddy documentary, right? Now, when the Diddy documentary dropped, that was like one of those big time moments, like when The Last Dance came out, when Black Panther came out. It was one of those films where the whole world saw it at the same time, and the whole world stopped. You know what I'm saying when it came out. But once again, like, did I think the Diddy documentary was good? It was okay. Like I say, I actually like the first two episodes of it when they was like digging deep into how Diddy came up. All of the other stuff I pretty much knew, but like I told you, I just felt like if you was going to do a Diddy documentary, you could have did it a little bit different. Not just put the same stuff in there. But like I say, the first episode was probably the best episode, the first and the second one. But once again, the second episode came from everything we saw on the Murder Rap DVD. Remember that if a lot of people saw that. But anyway, like I say, the only reason I didn't really have a problem with the Diddy documentary is because a lot of other people did Diddy documentaries. Like if you go to one of the movie websites, right, and you go on the documentary sections and go through all of the documentaries over the past like 3 or 4 years, you gonna see like 20 different Diddy documentaries. So if all of these other major networks been making Diddy documentaries, I'm not going to hate on 50 for making his version of it. So once again, with the Diddy shit, okay, I get it. It's cool. You just did some shit that everybody else did. But with this situation, I don't think it's that serious because this is like, why are you doing all of this for T.I.? Like over an argument for verses, and now you going to the level of making a documentary. You could have just did a diss track. People would have respected that. Whether you like I say, 50 Cent, if you listen to 50 Cent's music, you listen to the song Big Rich Town, you listen to the theme song from Raising Canaan, you listen to the theme song from BMF, you listen to the theme song from Tommy Show. Like all of the 50 Cent TV shows got good theme songs with him rapping on it. So he could clearly make good music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why you wait? Like, bro, you 50 Cent. You could make good music. I done heard 50 put out real good music. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't understand why he just won't get in the booth and rap. That's what everybody been wanting. That's what everybody been waiting for, the response. And it's just like I just don't get it, yo. It's just like when I was a kid, when I was growing up, 50 Cent put out the Massacre, right? And he like remember G Unit had all of the momentum. G Unit had, they was the number one rappers in the world. And it's just like 50 Cent fucked the whole shit up because he wanted to beef with everybody. When he put out the Massacre and he put out Piggy Bank and he was beefing with Fat Joe, Jadakiss, and Nas and all these other dudes, he messed up the whole G Unit momentum. You know understand what I'm saying? It's like G Unit was the hottest dudes in the world. And once you started the beef, Jadakiss killed them. A lot of other Game killed them. And then it was like he wasn't even going hard. Like you start the beef and then you don't even go hard when D Block was killing. Like D Block was on his neck more than anybody. And that's when Game started to be on his neck. Now I'm not a fan of Game like that. You know what I'm saying? But when that beef was going on, all of them people was on his neck. And he did some responses, but it wasn't that like he was going at Ja Rule. Like it wasn't them kind of responses. And that's the same thing we seeing now. Like you got all the momentum with your TV production career. You building your own G Unit studios, but you want to kill your momentum by beefing with T.I. and doing all this weird stuff online on Instagram. Now all of the fans turning on you again, just like they turned on you when you did the Massacre, just like they turned on you when you did Piggy Bank, just like they turned on you when you start beefing with Game and Jada and Fat Joe and Nas and all these other artists. So like he killing his own career. He messing his own reputation up by doing goofy stuff, yo. And I understand dudes got money, they be bored. But yo, like it's just weird. Like, you know what I mean? It's super weird. But anyway, this is your man Anthony Starks right here. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to my Patreon, pay something to the Cash App.